Hello, good evening. My name is Amanda. I'm here from EUA Education, the Department of Communications. Thank you for joining today's webinar. And we're here today with Idyllwild Arts Academy. So Tara, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes, hi everyone, welcome. My name is Tara Seacrest and I'm part of the admission team at Idyllwild Arts. I am also an alum and a current parent.
Cool, great. All right, would you like to share the slides that you prepared for us today?
Sure. Okay. So we are the only boarding arts high school on the West Coast. And we have 9th through 12th grade, postgraduate, and a summer program for all ages and abilities. And it looks like Marcel has just joined us. Marcel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Marcel Sabo. I'm an 11th grader and I'm a theater major from Hungary.
Oh, cool.
Thanks for joining us, Marcel. We are just starting the presentation. And then we are located on sacred Native American land, and this is our land acknowledgement. And we actually just put our land acknowledgement in action this week by celebrating National Indigenous Day on Monday, and we had a full day of programming, which was absolutely incredible. So we actually have more Native American programming than anywhere in the nation, and we aspire to be a leader in Indigenous arts. At Idyllwild Arts, our promise statement, Idyllwild Arts believes that art is the greatest teacher of humanity and that the practice of creativity, no matter the ultimate expression, hones each individual's desire and ability to craft global change. So we were recently ranked the #1 private arts high school 2 years in a row by Niche, which we're very proud of. We are located in Southern California in the mountains behind Palm Springs. We're 2 hours east of Los Angeles and 2 hours north of San Diego. We're an hour from Palm Desert and from Palm Springs. We have the full 4 seasons, so snow in the wintertime, but nothing's ever too severe. So usually when it snows, the next day it'll be 60s or 70s and blue skies. But we are in the heart of Southern California, next to the art capital of the world. Our academy has college prep academics, pre-professional arts training, positive personal growth. We empower global citizens. We have around 250 students, 90% boarding, 10% day. And we're 49% international students with 30 countries represented in 22 states. Our campus is quite large. We have 205 acres. You automatically get a half credit for PE just for walking around campus. Our academics, we have a full academic schedule and a full arts schedule, so an equal balance in both. So we have college preparatory academics, a comprehensive ESL program, honors offered in all subjects, and we meet the requirements of the University of California standards. We have 2 full-time college counselors, and we actually are going to be having a college fair on campus next week. So every year we host a college fair on campus, and we bring about 40 to 60 different colleges and universities from around the world to our campus, and they usually come to us because they know that our students most likely will be admissible to their programs. And then we have a smaller college fair that takes place in the spring. We offer 8 different art majors. So our students major in visual arts, creative writing, dance, film and digital media, inner arts, theater, basically everything you can imagine having to do with the arts. And then there's sub-majors that are connected to those majors. So for example, in theater, there's general, there's acting, there's musical theater, and there's design and production. We have our creative writing program, which is our smallest program on campus, and it's very much like a college level major. And they study poetry, fiction, nonfiction, publishing, screenwriting, playwriting. We have several master classes, and one of my favorite things they do is they produce a literary magazine every year that's compiled of different students' artwork and creative writing pieces. and it's very visually stunning and incredible. And I have the whole collection of all of our student parallaxes in my office. Our dance program, all of our teachers are ABT certified. They have ballet 5 days a week, modern jazz, tap, and dance improv 3 days a week, master classes throughout the school year. We have a partnership with Lula Washington, and the students compete in and win national competitions, including the Youth American Grand Prix. Our fashion design program, we have a new fashion chair this year, Kentaro. He won Fashion Runway season 16. He's absolutely amazing. He just showed his work in New York. So he's an active professional. And he just collaborated with our film students with his fashion show in New York. And he had the film students make the backdrop video for him. But our fashion designers, we have several fashion shows, and they participate in regional fashion shows, and then they design costumes and they create collections throughout the year, and graduates attend top fashion schools, including Parsons, Central St. Martin's, and London College of Fashion. Our film and digital media program, we were the first film and digital media high school program in the world, and we make movies just like they do in Hollywood. It's pretty impressive, and they actually just took our students to Hollywood 2 weeks ago to pitch their films to Hollywood directors. They're going to be going to New York next month to participate in a film festival. So our students are very active, and it's a very collaborative major. Well, they'll utilize our theater students in their films. They'll utilize our music students to score the music, and then our creative writers to help write their scripts. So it's very collaborative. They shoot films on and off campus, and the films go to international festivals. Our in arts program really caters to students who have interest in more than one art discipline, and also students who might not have had as much training. So it caters to a lot of different students, but it's also a very collaborative major as well. It teaches artists to be innovative, entrepreneurial, adaptable, resilient, and socially aware. And it focuses on experimental modes of stretching the boundaries of separate art disciplines. Our music program, we have classical, jazz, songwriting, voice, piano, several different avenues to explore, but it's quite incredible. Our musicians also collaborate, and they'll participate in things like our coffee house. Theater, Marcel, why don't you talk about theater?
Well, I mean, of course, theater is the main part, and then there are like the sub majors within it, which is musical theater, acting, general theater, and then design and production. Though my focus is on acting, but I still have classes from design and production, because I think what theater allows like a larger scope of, just because you're acting or musical theater, that doesn't mean your classes will be just focused on that. And it's really helpful. For example, like last year I wasn't part of the show, but I was part of the costume shop. So even when you don't get to act in the shows, you're still part of the production, which is, I think, really inclusive. That's a great thing about the major. They also usually do one large production. Like right now we're doing a play called Metamorphosis, and I'm in it as many characters. But like the next big project will be for the musical kids. But that doesn't mean like people from design and productions or from straight theater couldn't land in the musical either. So it's just a really inclusive environment, so I think that's great about it. For the classes, one thing that's really good and what I realized about theater is not just about like practical theater. Like, of course, you learn about acting and everything, but you learn more about like the business aspects as well. Like, what I found really useful this year is there was like, I wasn't really indulged in the entire idea of like the technical aspects behind it, like, or I mean the business aspects, like what union you have to join, how to get paid and things like that. And that's something you pick up because it comes up in conversations as well. So you're not just learning the actual skills to apply in theater, but rather just the business itself, which is really useful. And also, first year, you're landed in general theater, so you get the whole scope of everything, the lights, the technical aspects. So you're never just boxed into one part. And I feel like it allows you to explore more parts of it, which is really cool. So join theater.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Marcel. Yeah, and then usually we take the seniors to the National Unified Auditions in Chicago every year, where they meet with top US and UK conservatives and colleges, and they get a lot of advice about their auditions, and sometimes our students will get accepted on the spot. And then we have visual arts. Visual arts is our largest major on campus. And our students study everything you can imagine: animation, architecture, painting, drawing, sculpture, graphic design, photography, ceramics, metals, printmaking, and much more. They go to the National Portfolio Days. They give you tools to create your voice as an artist. And then they have real life gallery opportunities. So every year our visual artists show their work at the Melissa Morgan Gallery in El Paseo in Palm Desert. And it's an incredible, well-known professional galleries. They get a lot of experience with that. And some of our visual arts alums include people like Shepard Fairey, who designed the Hope Obama poster, and is definitely one of the most successful visual artists out there right now. Also people like Nate Lohman, who's said to be the next Andy Warhol. We have several amazing, amazing visual arts alumni. Student life. So Marcel, maybe you could talk about student life a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole community just feels like a big family because you're kind of stuck here on the mountain. So it's really rare you go outside. Well, sometimes weekly, right on the weekends, you can go to town, but you go with your friends. And I feel like because everyone lives together and there's not a single person you don't see every day, like it really does just feel like a big family, which is really good. For activities, what I really like is like the concerts or the theater productions or the visual arts shows aren't just for the majors they're made in, but anyone can openly come and visit them. So I don't know if you're in theater and you want to learn more about music, you just go to a show and there you have it. So it's really inclusive. We also have all school on Fridays, which you have all the announcements from the students and the teachers going on. And lately they've been doing student performances at all school. So that's more of the student life as well. I think the breaks are also very well placed because you never feel overwhelmed with how much academics you have versus how much time you spend home. Because you usually have, right, 2.5, 3 months of school and then 2 weeks of break or 1 week of break. And then you struggle through the last month and then you get to go home for a month or free or summer or winter break. So that's really good.
That is very nice.
We're both.
Yeah, so we have a week off for fall and 4 weeks off for winter and 2 weeks off for spring. And then our students start at the end of August and the end of May. So they also have a very long summer to participate in summer programs or go home or do whatever they want to do. Last year we went to Universal Studios, and then we'll have like beach excursions. And then our prom last year took place on El Paseo, in this really like swanky hotel. So it just depends. Every year there's different activities, but we really try to make use of our location and take the students to highlights that are around us. And also every department has their own activities that they'll take the students to as well. But there's a lot going on. It's hard to get bored. And then around campus, these are just photos. This is Hush Dorm is in the right-hand corner. Our brand new Lohman Concert Hall, which is our newest building on campus. It was acoustically designed by the same people who designed the Sydney Opera House. And then the Parachutes is our outdoor amphitheater. And the place with the flags is our dining hall, which we're in the process of putting all of those flags back up. We replace the flags every year based on the student body that we have represented. And college acceptances, these are just a few, but our students are definitely sought out by the top conservatories and universities in the nation. We have one of the highest acceptance rates at NYU and USC and several different schools, but our students receive a lot of support for college placement. Now, we also have summer programs. So in addition to our high school program, we have our summer program for all ages 5 to 105, actually. But we offer, I think, about 45 workshops for summer 23, and you can board as early as 10 years old. So, and our summer program really caters to students of all disciplines and of all levels. So if you're just wanting to try out the arts and you really haven't had that much training, then the summer program is really a great option. We have 1 week option, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. And usually they are all in the month of July. And these are important dates. Our priority application deadline for spring is November 10th. Our early decision deadline for fall 23 is December 1st. And then our regular application deadline is January 15th. And those applying for financial aid is the February 1st deadline. And this is how you can stay in touch with us. I highly recommend that you follow us on all of our social media channels. So, and that is the end of the presentation portion.
Thank you so much, Tara. That was an amazing presentation. Thank you, Marcel. Seems like a great school. And I had a couple of questions. Also, maybe Marcel can also answer some of them. So what are some of the maybe weekend activities that the students usually participate in?
Well, as I said, through the weekends from quite early in the morning till 5, you can go to town. So mostly it's just a big group of friends who go off to town. I mean, there's also student clubs, and because of the large workload during the week, you usually hold your clubs on the weekends. So, for example, the soccer club is on Sundays. There's a volleyball club. There's an anime club. So there's many different clubs. So I'm in improv, for example, on Saturdays. So it's usually clubs in town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are some other clubs?
More clubs.
We also have the environmental club.
Yeah, there's an environmental club.
There's a lot of clubs. So the students really can dream up anything that they want as a club. And as long as there's a faculty advisor and a student leading the club, then they can create the club. I mean, there's usually, gosh, I don't know, but typically we have so many clubs, like there's no way to even tell you all of the different ones, but there's like knitting club and chess club and like pretty much any club you can imagine, the students will create. So, and then Marcel talks about our town. So we're located in the town of Idyllwild, which is an arts village. It's very quaint and beautiful. We're in the mountains, and so everything is just gorgeous. So we're surrounded by nature, but the town is very culturally alive with like music and art, and we just had a very popular like art and wine walk that happened in town, where a lot of people from LA and San Diego come and enjoy looking at art in galleries and listening to music. And Idyllwild itself is known for mountain bike riding and rock climbing and hiking. So we also have a lot of people who come from all over the world to do those activities as well.
Oh, wow. It's like the perfect town for this school.
Yes.
Also, Marcel, could you describe maybe a school day for you, like waking up and the meals, the time?
So classes start 8:30. So me and my roommate usually wake up between 7 and 7:30. We get dressed. By 8, we try to get to the dining hall and have breakfast. The food's like, it's open table basically. So You have different desserts, you have fruits, you have vegetables, you have scrambled eggs in the morning, bacon, sausage, something along those lines. And there's a vegetarian option as well and a vegan option, so no one's ever left out with what they can eat. Then classes start from 8:30 till 1:20 usually. Today's the exception. Today I have the short day where I'm only till 11:20. And then you have that time till 2:15 when your art classes start. And then from 2:15, depending how packed your schedule is, till 8:50 you have classes. Me, because of rehearsal, every day is from 2:15 till 8:50. So it can get a bit overwhelming, I would say, but the teachers are really supportive and understanding that, like, they're not really forcing you. Like, academic teachers are very much in the understanding of how much artwork you have to do. So deadlines are, you can play around with them. They're not that strict here, which I appreciate.
Like,
Yeah. And then for curfew, because you have to get back to your dorm, if you're a freshman or sophomore, it's till 9. If you're junior and up, for me and the seniors, it's 9:30.
okay, cool, nice. And also, what's it like to live on campus? Would you recommend to people who want to do exchange programs? What's the experience like?
I mean, I feel like after 2 to 3 weeks, if you're new, or if you're, I don't know, you're really outgoing, it's probably a week. You get used to it. Like, it's great. I mean, you become friends with your roommate, and then next year you get to pick your roommate. So I picked my best friend, so we live together. So I feel like if you want to do an exchange program, it's perfect here because living with another family might be a bit of a hassle with all the different cultural boundaries, really. But here, because you're kind of living according to your own style, and usually your roommate gets that, so there's never really conflicts about it. So I feel like it's perfect if you want to do an exchange program.
All right, that sounds great. I think I already asked all my questions. So thank you guys so much for this presentation. Sounds like an amazing school, and I'm so glad that you're having such a good time, Marcel. So thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you for having us.
All right. All right. Bye, guys.